Tonight, from TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Indianapolis Colts.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerge from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Alongside my partner Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
3-0 versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a 5th-round pick in the 2019 draft out of North Dakota State. It's Easton Stick.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. The numbers for him from a week ago: 16 carries, 138 yards, and a touchdown.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on it.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. 44 is the mark.
Off play action, it's Stick. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Now Stick. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. This defense for the Jags, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Stick looks to throw. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Stick's throw hauled in by QT here. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. On the handoff, Taylor, and he'll go down at the 28.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They run with Taylor, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Got an open man. It's QT. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. KJ Hamler returning it. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Set, ready? 50, plant. Right, 58, right there. Here we go, here we go. Hey, 58.
They'll run it. This is James Robinson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Check in on the numbers last week for Robinson. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
I got it. Check safety, check safety. Topper, topper. Hey, exit.
They go play action now. Lawrence. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second down and 3.
Line it, 15 line. Keep it out. 94 is the money.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
90, Wolf. Smooth.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. He finds his man, complete. It's Peterson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Hey, Delta.
To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. Steps away to his left. And he'll just get rid of him.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
94 is the mic. 94.
On third down, Lawrence. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially open the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. And I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To the right side, this is Taylor. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Eddie Jackson with a tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Stick back to pass. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short, definitely was a great time to dial one up.
A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And some room to work. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A big play there for Indy. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want me.
Here's Stick on 1st and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Here's Stick looking to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Cleveland Farrell able to record his 5th sack of the season. They were trying to set up a screen there, but that one just too slow in developing.
Yeah, too slow in developing and well-read, because that ends up being a bad feeling for the quarterback. But he's got no blocking in front of him. His guys are just going to let defenders go, and they're coming for him. So if it's not there, you just got to throw the ball at the turf at your running back's feet.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw taken in by Chark. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they're going to have a third down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
Set, ready? 60 or. Don't say nothing. 94.
On third down, it's Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. First down now, but the clock continues to move. They go play action with Lawrence. He'll buy some time right. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
Scramble drill there, partner. Some teams have some pretty good rules for it. Others are just saying make sure you work your way back into the sight lines of your quarterback, even if you take the play deep. And that's what they attempted to do on that one, unable to connect.
He finds his man, complete. It's Peterson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
50, plant. Run. 94 now.
Lawrence will throw. Being chased out left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to fourth down. And this one is right through, and that'll bring him back within 4. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room.
We got 4.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we come to halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. Hamler now to return it. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll run again here with Robinson, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie. 94 is the mic. Go.
Play action. It's Lawrence.
Watch the screen.
Escaping the pressure right. And Shark calls it in. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 17-yard line.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense, because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. KJ Hamler, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. They broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. They'll run with Taylor. Taylor's got the first down and more. And all the way down to the 5. 96 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
Forced, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Easton Stick with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Hamler now to return it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They had gotten the lead with the opening touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Now they relinquish that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right? Where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
On a jet sweep, here comes Chark. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up 3rd.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. The open man is Chark. It's complete. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
On 2nd down, it's Robinson, and he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Lawrence going to give this to Robinson, draw play. And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down at the Colts 31. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Well, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field, and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play. And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Eluding the pressure right. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the... NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Eight yards to go on second down.
Leo! Get that ball! Get by!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that play on any down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. David Njoku, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars have retaken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that gives them a 3-point lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return, and he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. 7 yards the pickup there.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 106 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
46 the mic, 46.
1st and 10, stick. Open man is Higgins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. 2nd and 2.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 42. Stick from the gun. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. Behind the chains, 2nd and 13.
Hey, check Mike 46. Check Mike.
Another try after the first down sack. Stick. Oh, no, he lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Soft, baby. That's baby soft.
A shotgun throw for Stick. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
This will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. stick. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the...
Oh, no, he lost the football. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they are going to get this one back, it looks like. So nearly like-for-like fumbles, but they hang on to this thing and keep it a turnover.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills they practice all next week.
Here's Robinson again on second down. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down.
High 7-2.
On play action, Lawrence. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. They'll try and wind down some clock with Peterson. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
58's the mic, 58. 58's the mic. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
They run. Robinson. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Well, it would have been a long one, but that was the spot that they put themselves in, Charles, forcing him to try from long distance, and he comes up empty.
And you know what happens oftentimes when you're trying to kick a little bit beyond your range, you overkick it, right? Don't get all of it. In this situation, they cannot point fingers at him. They've got to go back and examine their play calls, how they tried to traverse the ball down the field, and why they didn't get bigger chunks of yardage in order to set up a field goal. It was much more manageable.
Yeah, because 5 to 10 yards there could have made a world of difference. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
Down. 90 Wolf.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
94 is the mic. 94 is the mic. Go.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
He'll go up top here for Hamler. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the Colts are right back in this football game.
Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost fell schoolyard or